Another 3 weeks have flown by, meaning that we are getting another roster update this Friday, August 11th. And of course, you know what that means. We're going to be giving you guys some investment advice. So here are my roster update predictions for August 11th. So those of you who watched my roster update predictions video last roster update for the defensive update, I said that Bobby Witt Jr. could sneakily go diamond the next update, and look at him now. This is what happens when you doubt me, guys. When he was a 79 and he was around 600 stubs, I told you guys to, regardless of him already being well above his quick sub value at the time, to buy him because he started getting hot at the plate, and if he got even hotter, he could easily go to a diamond. He got the fielding updates. He went up to an 84. He's been insane since then, hitting-wise. Versus righties alone, he's hit 408, 1.157 OPS versus righties since July 21st, which was the last update. And if you're looking at his attributes, 58, 56, going to get a huge boost. He could go up to like an 87. Now, Matt Olson is one of two players in this video who I actually don't have any investments in, and I will explain why. But obviously, he is going to be a great candidate. He's really expensive as of right now. But this season, he's been amazing. Since the last roster update, he's hit 293 with a 1.200 OPS versus righties. The power versus righties isn't going to go up. It just isn't. The contact versus righties could go up because he's hitting 293, which technically, I don't know the exact formula, but that usually when you're around 300, you get in the 80s or the 90s for contact. So I could see a contact boost versus righties. Since the last update, he has hit 429 with a 1257 OPS versus lefties, but has only been 10 plate appearances. So that is a really small sample size. So the reason why I don't have any Matt Olsons is because I didn't buy him when he was cheaper, and there's too much risk for me to buy him now. So if you don't have him now, I wouldn't buy any because the sample size versus lefties is so small and the risk is pretty high with that price that he might not go diamond, but he is certainly a really good candidate to go diamond. I don't really think he's going to go higher than an 85, but who knows. Now, Blake Snell has been the best pitcher in the MLB for over a month now, and I don't understand how he's still so cheap. He's 1850. He's an 84 overall. He needs a +1, and he's been pitching like the best pitcher in the MLB. Since the last update, he had one worse start in his more recent start, only giving up 3 earned runs instead of 2. But since the last update, he's had a 2.25 ERA with a 1.44 WHIP, and he's averaged 11.81 Ks per 9, while the league average is 8.7. So that's really above average. The Ks per 9 should go up. Everything else is pretty accurate. I could see a hits per 9 increase as well. But Blake Snell should be a lock to go diamond. I don't understand. He's only 1850. His Ks per 9 is 11.81 and the average is 8.7. So that's going to go up. And he's an 84 already. I don't understand why he's so cheap. Now, Pablo Lopez is probably not who you were expecting. And I just noticed this recently. Since the last roster update, he has made a couple starts. He's at a 2.08 ERA, a 0.85 WHIP. But there's one thing. I don't have any Pablo Lopez's because he's only made 3 starts. He makes his 4th start and final start before the window closes tonight. If you're watching this on Monday, he's pitching tonight for Minnesota. If he throws another good game, I'm going to quickly buy him because, I mean, if you look at this card, he has an insane amount of room to grow. He isn't above 80 in any attribute outside of stamina, velo, and break. But he needs +5s to go to an 86. So if he has a really good start tonight, he could go diamond. Like, he could. And he's around 1600, which is just above the quick sell value for an 84. Now, Cody Bellinger he's a lock to go diamond. If he doesn't go diamond, that's got to be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. He's already really expensive. It's a little late to invest now. You're not going to be making too many stubs. You're only going to be making stubs if he goes to an 86, which he could, but there's not a guarantee. I think he should go to an 86, but I mean, he's had pretty much identical splits. Since the last update, he's hit 409 with a 1.059 OPS versus righties, and a 409 average against lefties as well, and his OPS is 1.098. So basically the same with a little more power against lefties, but just across the board, he's going to get hitting upgrades to literally everything, and he could go higher than an 86. He could go to an 85. You really never know with SDS. So if you want to buy some of him, go for it. But you're going to lose stubs if he goes to an 85. This is why you buy earlier, because I got my Bellingers at 1900. Here's a guy that no one's really talking about for Diamond candidacy, and it's Michael Harris. He started the year as a Diamond, went down, and he's gone back up. He's at around an 83 overall. Since the last update, he's hit 293 with a 1.200 OPS versus righties. So both the contact right and power right could go up. If you're talking lefties, he only has 9 plate appearances. So when I say these numbers, take it with a grain of salt because it's a really small sample size, just like Olson. 444 average, 1222 OPS. Don't expect huge upgrades versus lefties. Could see a little boost, but since it's only 9 plate appearances, I wouldn't be too mad if they didn't change his stats versus lefties, but his stats versus righties should most definitely go up, and he's only around 1700. Justin Verlander just got traded back to the Astros. As a Yankees fan, it's really annoying, but you know, he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time, and he went down from a Diamond in the last roster update, and he took it personal. I mean, since July 21st, which was the last roster update, he's had a 1.47 ERA, a 1.15 WHIP, and a 6.87 hits per 9, while the average for hits per 9 in baseball this year is an 8.5. Now, granted, that was only for 3 weeks, but I mean, the hits per 9 has been really good. It should go up. The Ks per 9 kind of makes sense based off his stats, but hits per 9 should help him a lot, along with clutch, and he is only 1700. I'm going to talk about 2 Brewers pitchers, probably spoiling the next guy, but here's the first one in Devin Williams. I invested in him for the first update, and they haven't touched his card at all this year, which is pretty ridiculous. He's been insane, like Devin Williams always is, in the last window. So from 7/21 to today, 8-7, I don't know why I said 8-7, August 7th. He has given up 0 earned runs. He's had a 1 WHIP, right on the dot, 1 WHIP. He's had an 18 Ks per 9. 18, and the average is 8.7. I get it. The Ks per 9 are already at 101, but that is an insane K per 9 for this period. 18 is more than double the average, which should be in the 110s. Look, they gave Alexis Diaz stats in the 120s and the 110s for the per 9s to give him Diamond. I don't understand why they're not doing it to Devin Williams. He's a really good investment. 1,400 stubs per Devin Williams. He should go Diamond. They've been screwing him all year. And the other Brewers pitcher that I mentioned is Corbin Burnes. Now, Corbin Burnes has been an amazing pitcher his whole career, excluding the 2019, I think it was. But anyway, Corbin Burnes, he started off the year really bad, like really bad. But since really June ended, he has been elite. He's been the Corbin Burnes that we are usually watching. Since his last start in June, he has not given up more than 2 earned runs in a single start. He's had 2 earned runs or less in every start since the start of July, and if we're talking about just the period since the last update, he has had a 3 ERA, so a little higher, but a .94 WHIP. So he's a really good candidate, and he's below 1,000 stubs. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys are new here, follow me on all my social medias, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, but most importantly, make sure to subscribe right here on YouTube. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. Peace.